Awesome. Hey, Idaho. Well, it's so wonderful to see so many people. I think that we're going to have somewhere around 150 people on this call this evening. So it's exciting to see you all, and I'm glad that there's so much interest across the board in taking part in the mental health and wellness events that are coming up in the coming week. First of all, I wanted to shout out to so many people from our Global Action team who are joining us this evening for the first time. This is really the first full meeting of so many people who expressed interest in belonging to this group of Lions interested in Lions USA service. So the first thing I need to say is I apologize for this being so late in the evening. I know that you're not all insomniacs, but this was the best time that was going to capture the most people that we could get. And so we've selected this one, and I appreciate your attendance at this. The next thing I want to mention is, as I said, a lot of folks that are on this call are from the Global Action team overall, and they have some kind of role or some kind of initials in front of or behind their name. But for the sake of Lions USA, we really expect and want this to stay a very level organization where we're just all Lions trying to do the good job and the great things that Lions do across our constitutional area 1. And we're hopeful that you can all adopt that same kind of an attitude. We're just all regular Lions. The other thing is that if you are in one of those specialty roles, if you have the opportunity to be serving in one of those specialty roles, please understand that Lions USA is here to augment. We really want to just help motivate Lions across the board to be participating in service, to be participating as Lions doing the thing that we love the best, just elevating our association and making it as great as it can be. We're not here, as Lions USA is not here to tell you all what you should be doing. We're just here to offer our support, our motivation, and some ideas about new things that you might want to embrace, things that you might want to bring back to your clubs, to your district, to your multiple district. However, we can all do the job, many important jobs of Lions. So without any further ado, the goal of tonight, the overall goal of tonight is to provide you with some ideas of easy to do, easy to implement activities that can be done in your club, in your district, in your multiple district, or just by you as individuals that are supporting the mental health and wellness service event, or Global Service Week that we have coming up beginning this Saturday, pretty quick. A lot of the activities that we're going to suggest are things that you can do easily, and you can implement them starting right from tonight, right now. They're easy to do, easy to take part. And I think from there, that's pretty much it for my welcome. I don't see Gary Anderson, my counterpart. My name's Joyce Middleton. I'm from Massachusetts, a Lion. Gary Anderson is a Lion from Michigan. I know he's on another call and on his way to join us, and hopefully you'll hear from him along the way. But a couple of people are going to present this evening. I have Jody Burmeister is going to present on our next topic, which is Talk About It. And you can see it in her backdrop. And Jerome Thompson is going to talk to us a little bit about Lions Quest. And Kathy Dorman and Kevin Guess, Kathy from Vermont and Kevin from California, are going to talk to us a little bit about service carnivals. And then we're going to have some breakout rooms. And hopefully you'll all come away from this with good feelings and great ideas that you've shared, things that you're sharing or things that you're learning. That's the aim of tonight. All right, so without any further ado, I'm going to throw to you, Jody, to talk about it. Won't you please?
Awesome. I am excited about talking about it and about the Global Week of Service around mental health and well-being. You know, mental health and well-being impact every human on the planet, and it's so important that we as Lions really embrace that. And so this hashtag Talk About It campaign actually came to be because of this committee. It's an ad hoc committee put together by President A.P. Singh on growth and impact. And this is one of the pieces that's coming out of the marketing team that's working on this growth and impact committee. So this is not an official LCI project. This is Lions working together, listening taking action and trying to impact positively our organization and our communities. By the way, if you have questions as I'm going through this, please drop them in the chat and we'll catch up with them. Either Joyce, you can hop in if you want, or we can catch up with them at the end of my comments. All right,
Okay.
let's talk about it. So hashtag talk about it because mental health matters. This committee has created for us a whole bunch of media and other resources that tie into some simple, easy service projects that clubs can do with little effort, little time, and little resources. So this is the hashtag, or you see the QR code on the screen. They can take a picture of. It is also, I'll drop it in the chat when we get done talking. It's bit.ly/talk about it. So what is Talk About It? Talk About It is really 4 service projects you can jump in on very quickly. I'm going to give you an overview here, and we're going to talk about each of them. Number 1, the How Are You Challenge. Number 2, we are hosting a self-care workshop. Actually, Lions Virtual is hosting a self-care workshop. Number 3, a poster and business card distribution campaign that you can jump in on. And number 4 is a social media campaign. So let's take a quick look at each of these. And I'm going to go pretty quickly here because time is tight and we want to get the information to you and give other people a chance to talk about it as well. So first and foremost is this hashtag How Are You Challenge. And this costs you nothing, and every single member of your club can get involved in this. The concept is simple. Every club has a member we haven't seen in a while or you've lost touch with as a fellow Lion. Your call to remind them to check in on them helps them feel valued, loved, and that they're not forgotten, and they're part of this Lions family. So to take the challenge is easy. All you have to do is encourage your members to think of one Lion they've lost touch with, whether they've been absent or they just haven't caught up with. Then have that Lion call, text, or email that missing person to say, how are you? Then have them listen, care, and remind them that they belong and that we're thinking about them. Because service to each other is service too. And that small act of kindness could not only make that person's day, but it could help them rejuvenate and re-energize their service in getting out there and making a difference, which is good for all of our mental health. It's a really important and easy lift for all of us. The hardest thing to do is get it to your club level and get the clubs to share it with the rest of their members. You can also do this outside if you want to do it beyond just our Lions organization. You could do this with coworkers, with family, with friends, however you choose to do it. Joyce, were you going to add something about that?
Yeah, Jody, I only just wanted to mention that even beyond our club members, just general people out there in the world that you know, even if they're family members, et cetera, reach out to them. A little bit of one-on-one conversation goes a long way in both directions. You know, it helps you as the individual, and it helps the individual that you've reached out to as well. There are a lot of lonely people out there. It only takes a second.
Thank you, Joyce. That's so true. And there will be a social media campaign post coming up on this as well. So you can use that to share out. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes here. All right, the next piece. This is a self-care workshop. There is a Lion out, oh, that's a horrible videos or image, sorry. There's a Lion out of British Columbia. And he put together this amazing workshop, and it's called, we were calling it Let's Talk Self-Care. It's a live workshop for mental well-being. And basically it's 90 minutes and there's a workbook that you'll be working through. And it's an opportunity to assess where you're at and then apply some tools and learn some tools and resources that can help you, and you can use them in your day-to-day activities. This is designed for Lions. It's designed for friends, family, coworkers, and your community. Invite anyone you would like. As a service project that counts towards the Global Week of Service and the Club Excellence Award, it's a great opportunity for you to share this out on your socials or share it out as a poster or whatever you'd like. This resource is also in that folder that I shared the QR code for at the beginning of this. So this is on Saturday, October 11th. It is at 9 a.m. Central, and it is the registration. Again, I'll drop into the chat when we get done with this portion of the presentation. Actually, you know what? Forget that. We'll send it out afterwards. You'll get it all in an email. All
That'll
right.
work.
That's the self-care workshop coming up on Saturday, October 11th. The next piece is kind of exciting, and this one will cost you a little bit, but I think it's worth it. We've created a series of posters and also business cards that clubs can print, then post around their community or hand out at community events, share them at businesses, etc. So the business card, let's kind of take a look at that first. It is a two-sided business card, and it starts with "The world is better with you in it." And that QR code there is actually a link to a resource that you can take these short tests to help you determine where you're at with different challenges you're facing in your life. It's a quick and simple, and it provides some resources, a quick, simple way to assess where you're at on the depression scale or any other number of mental health challenges you might be facing. The back side of that card is a series of resources, including the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, a crisis text line, a veterans crisis line, and then at the bottom of that is an organization called Seize the Awkward. SeizeTheAwkward.org is an opportunity for us to learn how to support our friends, families, and other humans that are going through mental health crises. It gives you tips and tricks and other resources you might want to take advantage of as you're looking to help support your friends, family, and fellow members. So that's the business cards. Then the posters. These are 8.5 by 11 posters. Yes, there's a lot of color on them and quite a bit of ink because we're trying to make it so they'd stand out. The first poster is really a informational, educational poster. It talks about 1 in 7 people worldwide live with a mental health condition. Depression is the leading cause of disability worldwide. Suicide is the 4th leading cause of death amongst 15 to 29-year-olds. Let that sink in for a moment. And that anxiety affects 300 million people worldwide. We have the "Are you okay" theme there again, and then some warning signs to take a look at. The hashtag "Talk About It" poster is the same QR code as you saw on the business cards for you to be able to do some self-screening. And then the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is an amazing resource and something that we really should be pushing at all times. So you dial 988, you text 988, and it gets you directly to that crisis and lifeline. And if you press 1 when you get there, it will take you to the Veterans Crisis Line with specific humans trained to support veterans in crisis. And then the last one is the hashtag, or "I'm here for you," 4 simple words that can save someone's life. And that QR code takes you to Seize the Awkward so that you can learn again how you can support someone that's in crisis. So that's the business card and poster campaign. And then I think this is number 4. And this is our social media campaign. And starting on October 4th, there's going to be daily posts on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And because there's no entity behind this, they're going to be on my Lion Jody Burmester accounts. And I will be posting along with copy and verbiage that tie into these different campaign themes that we've talked about and that you see here on your screen. Those are also available for you to create your own. I've got all the graphics, all the media, all available for you to create your own if you so choose. They're available through that QR code I sent with all the different materials. The other thing you can do is encourage your members to share and repost all of these on your club and personal social media channels. Again, there's messages that are going to be on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, but that doesn't mean that you can't share these things on TikTok or on any of the other social media channels, Snapchat, wherever it is that works for you're reaching out for. So that will be the social media campaign. And many of you are already following me on social media, so it's not a big deal. If not, you can just go look Lion Jody Burmester up on any of those channels and you will find it there. With that, I know I rushed through all of that. Here is that QR code again to download the media and resources. Along with that are some resources that Jerome is going to share with you in a few moments. And then we'll also have some resources Kathy and Kevin are going to share with you in those folders in the before the end of this call as well. Joyce, do we have
Wow,
questions?
Jody. Oh, that was amazing. So much information, but so easy to follow and so easy to take part in. I really appreciate all of that. We can customize all the things many of the things that you talked about and really put them to great use. Thank you so much, Jody. I think that's going to go a long way for all of us. Let's see who's up to bat next. I believe it's Jerome Thompson, and Jerome is going to share with us a little bit about ways in which we can utilize the Lions Quest program to embrace our activity in the coming week for mental health. So without much further ado, Lion Jerome, would you please take us to Lion's Quest land?
Lion Joyce, thank you so very much. And Jody, you did an amazing job, and all the resources there are really going to help us as we leave our impact upon others who are suffering with a mental illness or with a family member who has it. So thank you so very much for what you did for us, Lion Jody. Lion's Quest, and many of you hear me talk about Lion's Quest in juvenile courts. I'm here to tell you Lion's Quest is very versatile. Anything that you're doing, we can adapt Lion's Quest to. And this week, I'm going to suggest to you that we take a particular Lion's Quest lesson, which has been shared with us by the Lion's Quest department, has been put in the resources, and you're about to have it as you download those resources. And let's go out and teach this lesson on feelings, emotions, and behavior to scouting troops. We could use this lesson also for a church youth group. We could even do and use it for our club meeting, because we as adults sometimes need to realize we can feel any way we want to, we can have any emotion we want to, but we have to watch our triggers so it doesn't cause us to do things that we regret later. It's a powerful lesson that we use in the juvenile justice system, but it also can be used even in a classroom, school, or a library reading program. These lessons are extremely easy. And when you download the resource, you look at those. This exploring people's emotions starts with the header, our objective. Our thoughts and emotions are often influenced by behavior, and helping students see the connection between what they think and the way they feel and what they do is so important in what we're going to learn today. There's a discovery where we begin to talk about what is the connection between feelings, emotions, and behavior. And as the students discover that they can feel any way and that they can think anything they want to, but it's their actions that get them in trouble, they begin to understand to watch for those triggers. We're going to be connecting with them and talking about things that they know are triggers. And then we're going to practice with them with using a handout and having some examples of what should be done and how they should handle different situations. This lesson may be a little bit elementary for your club. However, I believe that even our club members can learn something about mental health and begin to move in a positive direction. Our job during Mental Health Week is really easy. We continue Vice President Haynes Townsend's message of kindness matters. Let's just be kind. Let's embrace and let's share the resources that we have as Lions. It's to do everything that we can to let people know that they matter, that people are important. And sometimes in our very own clubs, we get so discouraged with one of our members that we forget that they're important. They bring something to the table that no one else can bring. It may be that they bring being grouchy and nobody else can do that quite like they do. But everybody's important. Everybody's got a role. And so our message is, you matter, we matter, and together we serve. Lion Joyce, I hope that is a brief introduction to Lion's Quest and meets your expectations, because you matter to us.
Thank you so much, Lion Jerome. You know, you matter, my friend. And honestly, there are so many ways in which Lion's Quest can further our association and further the impact that we have among youth and not so young in our communities. And I really urge everyone on the call. I mean, a lot of you may not be familiar with the Lion's Quest program in any way at all. And we've given you an opportunity to actually see what a module looks like in, I think this is a ninth, if you correct me if I'm wrong, Jerome, is this a ninth grade level module as it happens?
Yes, ma'am. We use the ninth grade module in the juvenile justice system, and it's adaptable to being a little bit more mature audience like you and I, or a little less mature like 7th and 8th graders, even if we think like them.
We're much more mature than 7th and 8th graders.
Yes.
or at least 10th grade. Okay, cool. But please do take a look at that module, download it, friends, because you'll be really interested to know what it is that we are promoting and what we've produced here at Lions Club International and what's available to all of us to be utilizing within our clubs and now expanding beyond into the local community instead of it's school-based and into the juvenile justice system as well. We're really looking to impact millions of children, teens, adults across CA1 and actually literally across the globe. But beginning with CA1, we really are interested in getting this moving and implemented across all 50 of our states, plus our affiliates in the nearby areas. And so thanks so much, Jerome, for that. The next thing, is my friend Gary on the call yet, Jody?
He is.
Yay. All right. But we didn't tell him what he was going to do. We didn't suggest to him. So I'm hoping that, I think he's good with this. Gary, we're looking for you to motivate this next section, which is the section on the video that Lion Andrew supplied us. Is that enough hints?
That's enough hints. In this video, which was just
Awesome.
made, Lion Andrew is favorite son of Lion Jerome, and incredible. I watched this video, and you will see, and I think you'll have the same reaction. Amazing from the heart, and it talks to everybody. Doesn't matter, young or old, doesn't matter who you are. So if we can watch this video, and maybe we can talk about it when it's over.
Hey, I have an important reminder for you. You matter. This week is Mental Health and Wellbeing Week with Lions Club, and we want you to remember one thing. You matter. Mental health is just as important as physical health, and talking about it reduces the stigma and helps us care for one another. You see, creating awareness is a service, and when we show up and we listen and we remind someone that they matter, we're making our community stronger. So this week and every week, take a moment to check in on yourself and others, because you matter, and together we matter.
Ugh. Gary, go ahead.
Incredible, incredible.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it affeccts everybody. It's not just kids, it's adults, it's old folks. And I think we were talking before, I think another thing that we might be missing is our neighbors. How many times do we drive by them? Do we park? Do we pull in? We don't pay attention to them. The people 3 doors down from me, I haven't talked to them in a couple of years. Okay. Because our schedules don't coincide, but maybe you see them outside and you say, hey, how you been? How you doing? And just show some interest. Just showing interest for 15 seconds can make the difference in somebody's day and their life.
Gary, can I just jump in here a second? Because you're so right. And I think that, what Andrew covered is just, the way he did it is just amazing. And this is he's a trained professional. But we're all capable of doing it. We all have these amazing things in that don't leave our hands very often anymore, that you can take a video of yourself just sharing your thoughts on why it's important for mental health and well-being, and sharing resources. Your phones have built-in apps to help you edit. Canva free app helps you edit a short video if you want. There's ways to get the job done to share that message. If you have a message to share, how meaningful would it be for your friends and family and coworkers to hear directly from you that they matter on a larger scale, just like Andrew put together. And just for the record, that amazing video from Andrew is going to kick off the campaign on Saturday morning, because it's just hits the nail on the head with exactly what we're hoping to see happen with the hashtag Talk About a campaign. So there you have it.
And
Absolutely fabulous. And if we can all share it and share our own, because they're not difficult to create. It doesn't need to look as beautiful as Andrew's does. It's from the heart, and no matter how you put it together, we can all access a free version of Canva, actually, and and just play around with it. Just try, no matter what. You know, all of these things always start off with a just give it a whirl, give it a try. It may not come out as beautiful as that the first time around. Doesn't really matter. The thought is there, the feeling is behind it, and that's what we're looking for. And we're hoping that you'll all take a chance on it and give it a whirl.
And Joyce, one other thing, one of the things
Yeah.
that's really hot right now in these short videos, first of all, handheld, don't worry, Andrew's is produced. You do not need to produce anything. You can just talk to your phone. And there's a really hot trend in short social media videos where you hand phones around to someone else and they make a comment on whatever the topic is. So you could have 3 or 4 of your members or 3 or 4 of your friends or family members on standing next to each other and say, hey, I believe mental health is important because, or and then just hand the phone back and forth with people. So it doesn't have to be fancy. And quite honestly, this is handheld. It's from the heart. So it shouldn't be fancy necessarily. So there you go.
And Jody, you bring up the phone thing, the phone, which we've all got. And how many people in our crowd have ever taken selfies? I think probably everybody has, right? I was at a college reunion, 50-year college reunion this past weekend, and saw some longtime friends that I hadn't seen in 50 years. And one of them had a stroke and he's in a wheelchair and a little difficulty talking. So I got a selfie with him and I and sent it to Bruce and he sent him the picture. And I got a note back from him, how much he appreciated that. So you might do that with a friend that you run into that you haven't seen in a while and say, hey, let's get a picture, get their number and send it to them. Okay. Or with a family member, whether it's a kid or a grandkid or an aunt or an uncle, somebody that maybe you haven't seen, you just get a picture and you send it to them. And just that, it might seem silly, but if 1 out of 5 of those things makes a difference with somebody, you've made a difference with something very simple.
So just
Absolutely. Even if it's just those of us that are on this call right now, you think about how many lives you will have touched just by those of us on this call reaching out to somebody. And you all know that when you get that out of the blue phone call or out of the blue message that comes to you, it really does uplift your day and it makes you walk a little taller, makes you feel a little bit better. So give it a whirl.
Before we jump to the next
Yep.
topic, I just want to remind everyone, you are going to get every resource you see tonight in a follow-up email, and it will come out hopefully, maybe if I can stay awake after this call and get it all together. Otherwise, it'll be early tomorrow morning. So it'll be in your inbox and everyone that was registered will have it. So just as a reminder. Sorry, Joyce, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Lion Jody. And so everybody right now, take 1 second and wave. Everyone wave. Hey, Cindy Vincent, wave. Let's see who's on the other screen. I'm going to look over there for a second. Who's waving over here? Yeah. Harry Williams, there you are, you're waving. Robert Marty, there you are. Hey, how's it going? If you're not on your camera, I can't call you out. Did you guys watch Romper Room years ago? Diana Castillo. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you all. Diane Sears, down the street. Hi. Joe Ladenbach. Yeah, and a whole lot of folks who don't have their camera on. Great to see your names, and I hope you can send a reaction or something. So be seen, my friends. That's what it's all about. I'm going to throw now to the folks who are running our service carnival motivation across our CA1, Constitutional Area 1, and those are Lions Kathy and Kevin from Vermont and California. So if you guys wouldn't mind giving us a little update, a few things on mental health and service carnivals and how we can utilize the service carnivals to promote Mental Health Week, and also a little update on how things are going overall. Whoever
Sounds
wants
great.
to speak first.
I'm going to.
Great.
I don't know where
Kathy.
Kevin is. I can't see him.
He's right next to you on my screen.
He's somewhere else on mine.
He's in
And
California.
I just wanted to make a comment. I have a friend on Facebook, and when I'm on Messenger, I'll get a message from him that says, "Hey, I see you're on Messenger, and I haven't touched base with you in a while. What's up?" And that's just an easy way to reach out to somebody that maybe you haven't talked to in a long time, but you can see right there the little green dot that they're there on Messenger. So it's a great idea. So a lot of this message is great that we're hearing, and And let's carry this message into our service carnivals. And how do we do that? And I'm going to assume we all are familiar with service carnivals. That's where we partner with other clubs and community organizations to show our communities what services. So our service carnivals, I have some ideas here. So first of all, we would set the tone and say, it's okay to talk about mental health. And we would have signs, we could have signs like what Jody showed us earlier. Mental health matters, you are not alone, we care. You know, we are setting a tone that includes and embraces everyone. We could feature, I have a list here, feature a wellness zone booth where we would have local partners. We would invite mental health organizations, counselors, veterans groups, anyone that has information to share about mental health, mental well-being, personal wellness. Brochures, hotline numbers, information on local support groups. Some of the interactive tools, we could have a stress ball making station. We could write a note of encouragement. We could send cards. We could have mindfulness coloring, and we could have guided breathing and physical activity. All of those things contribute to personal wellness. We could make self-care kits, assemble small care packages with journals, tea, snacks, and helpline info. Kindness rocks, let visitors paint rocks with positive messages or write what they're grateful for. Let's see here. We could partner with schools or LEOs to, again, win Lions Quest, host workshops on stress management. Veterans, we could invite equine therapy groups and peer support programs. And then sight, hearing, and diabetes, we can discuss how physical health connects to mental health, i.e. vision loss and depression, diabetes and anxiety, etc. We can offer quiet spaces to recharge. We can have trained volunteers or peer listeners who can talk one-on-one. And something that's not on here that just popped into my head, have you ever been somewhere where they give you like a 5-minute massage? Doesn't that feel great? That's something that also would be a great idea to bring into a service carnival. And then collect pledges for participants to check in on 3 friends this month or this week, and then check in on 3 different friends the week after. I mean, that is a great idea. And Kevin, what do you have to add?
A couple of things. First thing I wanted to add is that, I think one of the things that we're kind of missing that I'm really excited to share is we're already having a tremendous impact on people's wellness and well-being just by being Lions. So we're not asking for an extension. What we're asking for is for everybody to, first of all, make sure that you're checking in on yourself and taking care of yourselves, because our ability to be present and be there for others directly impacts our ability to be able to be there for the people in the communities we serve. Secondarily, we don't have to be professionals, and we're not asking you to be professionals. What we're asking for is to be that voice and person that's present, learning how to hold the space, just to be there for others. And I think the last thing that I really want to share is that we have a tremendous opportunity to have this impact by just simply being Lions, continuing to demonstrate and model that empathy. And then lastly, just by being present for others and offering that little bit of kindness, understanding, support, a smile, looking someone in the eye and just speaking at them with not only our voices, but with our hearts and our presence can be hugely impactful. I think with the Service Carnival idea, there are opportunities to partner with other community organizations, especially the NAMI walks that are coming up this week and this month in many areas. So there are already built-in opportunities to be able to join with others. And then the last thing I want to really encourage you is don't get overwhelmed by the idea of a service carnival. The service carnival is an opportunity for you to be able to invite other community members in. And the best thing about it is, and one of the things that I think people are missing is, it doesn't have to be huge. It's whatever works for you in your individual district, community, or club is where you're able to make that impact. So please don't get overwhelmed. take advantage of the opportunity. And then the last thing I want to share is that it's a tremendous opportunity to ask your other community partners to make sure they have some type of interactive small service activity during that service carnival. Why is that important? Because we want to model what service looks like. And that's what is a key for us to be able to get people excited, to be asking questions, to be willing to join us. And that provokes an opportunity for us to be asked to be able to talk about what we do as Lions and invite them in to join us.
Great. That's fabulous. Thank you so much, Kathy. Thank you so much, Kevin. Great ideas. And now all of you out there in TV world, we've heard so many great ideas, and now is your chance to talk amongst yourselves about all of your great ideas. So we're gonna switch off into some breakout rooms, going to be distributed out into breakout rooms of, I don't know, 5 to 6 or 7 people in a room. Is that right, Lion Jody?
6 to 7 of you in each room.
6 to 7.
Yep.
All right, great. And once you get into your room, if you'd quickly share your name. Actually, before you even do that, we need to figure out a person to be a moderator in each one of the rooms. And that person is, their job is just going to be to keep the conversation moving so that no one person is really usurping all of the time. We want everyone to have an opportunity to feel free to share their ideas or to ask their own questions of one another. So you're going to share your name, where you're from, and then you're going to talk about maybe some of the things that you've already heard about now and how you plan on using them, or some idea of something that you're already planning on doing. Maybe the other folks in your breakout room are interested in hearing, they have no idea what they're planning on doing, and they're interested in hearing something about what you've got planned. We just want to keep the conversation going, keep the ideas flowing, have everyone have an opportunity to be heard. And that's what it's all about. That's what we want. So with no further ado, Jody, unless anyone is confused at any point, I don't think they are. We've all been here. We've been doing this for a while. So let's head on out to the breakout rooms, if you will.
Perfect. So you got 20 minutes to talk about what you're going to do this next, basically the 4th through the 12th. Excited to hear your response when you come back. See you in a bit. You all should be going automatically to your breakout rooms. If not, I'm going to move you around here and we'll get you there in a moment. I never understand why some of you just don't get to go. So